Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to the Urban Monk Show live on A1R Radio and Moonstruck TV. Broadcasting live from Mars, it would appear. It's actually the Trona Pinnacles, part of Death Valley, where I was the last couple of weeks. And it's a very spiritual place for me. It's somewhere that I go quite often just to be with nature. You can see it's very natural. And it's how the world was and how the universe is meant to be. Now, I want to carry on from what I was talking about last week about toxic people and how these relationships are affected by the egoic mind, or the egoic brain, if you like, the identification with a problem that that person has had in the past. And so it was something that happened recently where I became more aware. I was already in that sort of situation, having been a narcissist and gone through that sort of stage before I had my road trip epiphany, where I was constantly looking for affirmation or love or respect or people to like me, despite the fact that they were very, very toxic. It wasn't something that I was able to spot or to be aware of. But this trip, it really kind of hit home that energy itself as a vibration, as a human being, we vibrate at that level that I've mentioned to you many times before. And when that vibration comes across a vibration of a different level or different frequency, it's either attracted to it like a magnet or it repels it. And I've said in my public speaking life and with counseling, talk very much about the magnet, the two ends of the magnet. If you push them together, they repel or they attract. And really for me, to learn the lesson that I learned on the road trip, it was really just about turning my magnet around. So over the last week, well, the last 2 weeks, because I wasn't able to broadcast live last week, unfortunately, I've become more aware of people that I thought were really good friends, close friends, people that I trusted, people that I had a lot of time and respect for, really aren't who they say they are, or who they think they are, or who they identify with. And it's quite simple once you get into a state of nowness and being mindful of your thoughts, thinking about what the thoughts are coming through your head. I was accused many times some years ago of picking people that I could use for my own gain, if you like, my own purpose in life. So I would pick this person because they could help me get a green card in America, or I'd pick this person because they were financially secure and they got a really nice house. I wasn't picking people from the heart. So once you start to be present and live in the now and realize that this is the only moment, what people think of me, or one, if you like, becomes totally irrelevant. You have to just be true to yourself. So I've witnessed parents arguing, children and parents, husband and wife arguing, children and parents arguing. Just two simple little acts of aggression, and it's quite clear that that is the identification with the parent. That's how they were brought up. The child, I'm going to test the boundaries. The parent saying, well, I'm older and wiser and know more than you, so you're not going to do that. And it just becomes a constant battle. If you stop, realize and think what the other person might be going through, or it stops becoming a battle of who's going to win. Because again, as humans, the 3D body that we have, the identification with the egoic mind, it's always about not losing. Okay, we got set into a conversation or a relationship, and when things start to go awry, it becomes a natural reaction for us to support ourselves or back up what we've just said and not lose. Well, if we're so obsessed with winning, there's got to somewhere be a loser. Somebody's got to lose. And I mentioned to somebody quite a while ago, there was a bit of conflict with this other person. And I just said, look, take time, just calm down, apologize. well, I've done nothing wrong. What should I apologize for? I said, well, you're not apologizing because you're in the wrong. You're calling a halt to the animosity and the aggravation that's taking place. Well, I'm not doing that. I'm not wrong. I've done nothing wrong. So I'm going to stand my corner and fight. And ultimately, it really led to nothing but disharmony, feeling ill, constantly depressed, thinking about that argument the next day and the day after that. And I think I've mentioned the story about the two monks carrying the girl across the river on the show before. One monk said, why did you carry the girl? And the first monk said, I put her down 5 hours ago. It's about letting things go, not getting involved in this kind of animosity and aggravation, and then carrying that on for 2, 3, 4, 5, even longer days. And it's on your mind all the time. So just the fact of being in Trona, just being in that spiritual place, just giving me time to rejoin the universe, if you like, take time away from everyday living in the wild west as we live our lives now, going out to that peaceful spiritual place helped me realize and get my body vibrating back to the level and the energy that it should be at. That then helped me to see clearly what the next stage for me in my life. And as I said last time, there's some interesting news coming in the not too distant future with regard to public speaking and the radio broadcast. My book is just about to be published. So things are moving forward by not moving forward. And the Chinese say, do nothing and nothing remains undone. It's letting the universe unfold in the way that it's supposed to do. So by being receptive to the toxicity of these other people, I'm able to allow them to drift away and not be part of my life anymore. It's not something that I'm concerned about, because if they were truly meant to be in my space, their energy would be vibrating at the level of attraction and not pushing them away through their toxicity and their lack of, if you like, ability to just be mindful. I've tried to help, but in the Bible it says don't cast pearl before swine. Have a look at it. It would take too long for me to explain that situation. But if people aren't ready for that journey, you can't drag them into it, kicking and screaming. They have to make that choice for themselves. And so I had to make a decision, and we all do. And this is where I'm trying to pass on this information to you, that you don't have to get involved in an argument. You don't have to allow yourself to get angry and let your body vibrate at that level. We get stress pains, we get chest pains, we have panic attacks. They're not in the stomach. You're gripping the stomach muscles tight. None of these things are natural. None of these things are any good for the health. And so the purpose of having that argument just to be right, it has no effect on the person that you're arguing against. The person that you're angry with or trying to prove is wrong probably don't care. So they're not getting uptight, they're not getting angry, they're not getting frustrated. And so it's so much easier to just, in fact, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but my elderly mother, bless her, always used to say, a still tongue beats the devil. And that's the simplest way I can put about being mindful and about being now. A still tongue beats the devil. So don't get involved. No need to get involved, because you're only messing yourself up. You're only affecting your own health. You're only affecting your own mental state. Okay. And when you get into that position, when you get to be in the now, just being present and being mindful, you will see the vibration of other people. A lot of my friends, a lot of people that are on here can see colors, can see auras, and it's an absolute fact that we all have energy, we all have colors, we all have auras. People can pick up on that. And it's not a magic trick, it's something that by being open and being now, my body is vibrating at, it's probably not totally natural level, but it's certainly vibrating at a healthier level, a peace level, a more enlightened level. And so that attracts me to other people of that same vibration. It prevents depression, because I'm not vibrating at the frequency of sadness or anger or hurt or depression. I'm not vibrating at that level. So when you see two people fighting and arguing, they're in that situation where they've got to win. They're angry. The body vibration is at that point where you're attracting violence and anger and narcissism and ultimately ill health. So ultimately, what I'm trying to say is take time, just be still, be mindful, look at other people, listen to conversations, see how they interact with each other. You might have that same situation in a relationship yourself. You might have that same situation with a child, or a parent. When you get at loggerheads with somebody, ultimately somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. It's not about whether you should be the winner or the loser. Just let it go. Does it really matter? Are you going to carry that girl across the river, or are you going to carry on thinking about that problem 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days down the line? It's just something that I wanted to dwell on really from last time, because it was very really enlightening to the point where I now know that the vibrational side of the brain is so important when you're dealing with other people, and you don't have to be the witness to all that drama. Just be the witness of your own mind, your own thoughts. When negativity creeps in, acknowledge it, but just let it go. I apologize for my voice because I'm still very nasally and still got a sore throat, but I'm getting there. So I apologize if it sounds really bad. And it's been a great time talking to you, and hope you all stay safe and well. And I'll catch you all again next week, hopefully when I'm a little bit better. Bye.